We're looking at number 88 against the right guard. And he just has this ability. He reminds me, there's a player that you guys might not remember. His name is Rod Coleman. Rod Coleman played for the Raiders, played for the Falcons. He was an all-pro player, defensive tackle. Rod was not like a chop club rip, not a double swipe rip, not a double swipe chop, not a stab to a rip outside. He was an explosive, slippery player. So all of his moves were kind of almost overdone. They were powerful. When he clubbed hard. When he ripped hard. When he did a club rip, he ripped hard. Everything he did, he was explosive. He moved his body. He could move it horizontal. He could move it vertical. And he was just what you call slippery. It was very, very difficult to get a hold of. Jalen Carter reminds me of that guy. You just see the explosiveness when they run the games. He can get inside leverage on the tackle. I just love the way that this guy, he can two gap, he can play 2-eye. He's actually the most dangerous against a guard at two technique. You see the backside. He's just a quick moving human. He's playing against Anthony Richardson here. The Florida line's pretty good. See Osiris here at number 54 is going to be a first-round draft pick in the National Football League. Now, because of his stance, because of the way what they asked him to do in the Georgia defense, he does get up a little high. We saw that with Devontae Wyatt in the Green Bay Packers, Georgia draft pick from last year. He does play a little bit high at times, especially for a guy who's 6'3". So he can get double teamed and blown off the ball a little bit. Doesn't have a really good comeback for it as of now. See him over the right guard again. Again, there's a lot of opportunities. Now, he'll play over the top here, but he's 8 yards back. He doesn't do a great job of attacking one player or the other. Now, that might be a function of what they're asking him to do at Georgia. But in my experience, when you are being double teamed, especially on the backside, you need to attack that inside player. You need to attack that guard and do a little bit better job than he does during the course of this game in particular. You see he can get kind of swallowed up using that position. So one thing that you like to do is when your guard takes lateral read steps, because he's probably playing a gap and a half here because the Georgia runs that they oftentimes run in that 3-down line. And so he is never press extend, get that guy off the line of scrimmage and trying to get him off balance. He's trying to read through it. So when you're playing against larger humans, this guy's a monster. I think he's like 330 pounds, 340 pounds. But there's going to be some big guys in the National Football League as well. You need to be able to punch, extend, separate, and also get that guy off balance. So your punch and extend's got to be a little bit more powerful. You got to be able to go from low to high. And in most defenses in the National Football League, they're going to ask you to try to get that guy, half yard in the backfield if you can. He's more than capable of doing it, but it's a new technique he's going to have to learn. You see here, the inside move, it's just now you talking about Quinn Williams. Like, what does this guy bring to the table? He can do this. And I'll rewind this one right here. Bang, bang. Okay, so he goes from upfield 2 steps and he can go completely horizontal. And you see already this guard's got wide feet, right? So if he goes horizontal, the guard's not going to be able to recover. But Jalen can go from horizontal back to vertical really fast for a 6'3", 315-pound, 310-pound dude. Really, really impressive. And he's able to do that nonstop with this. So that is, for me, probably the secret sauce. Like, what makes this guy very, very unique to go up completely horizontal and vertical again quickly. Very, very special trait. Again, we talk about him being slippery. This is a simple double team. He should not win here. Okay, that's just, there's no way that's a win. Go back here and watch this again. So you got a double team with the right guard. The right guard is going to bang off and go help with the right tackle on the defensive end. Right there, the center should be in a position where he's not losing this. There's no way this guy's getting pressure and he ends up getting pressure. Again, that was Rod Coleman. Rod Coleman it's this exact same kind of undescribable. There's not a move there necessarily. Obviously, he does a great job of flipping his hits, which means he has great footwork, great leverage, and great lower body strength. But there's nothing there you're pointing to and going, oh, well, he did a quick swipe, rip, club, blah, blah, blah. He's just really, really good at body position. Body position wins in this game more than all the hand fighting and all that nonsense that we we try to celebrate on social media. Body position, footwork, lower body leverage. That's what wins in the game. Now we show them against in that two eye technique I was talking about, or excuse me, two technique I was talking about. This is the most difficult position for a guard to be in because you don't know whether to set with your inside foot or your outside foot. He's going to just power rush right here, and you see the explosiveness. Immediately hands inside, does a great job on a University of Tennessee player here. That's kind of what he brings to the table. You have that ability. You see him against the right guard. And again, he just has this arm over. It's not a difficult move, but he's so explosive. He does his moves with such explosion that it's like a timing thing. It's like somebody's dancing to a different beat, right? And so you have your rhythm down. Again, it's a real estate game in the offensive line room. You have your rhythm, he has his rhythm. If you guys aren't on the same page, right? Then every once in a while, like what you think as an offensive line, when you think it's time to punch, it's actually the time's already passed. And that's what Jalen Carter brings to the table, I think,